Alright, we are fresh off of the iPhone event for 2019. Of course, I got my thoughts and impressions on everything that went on. So stick around as we, together, as a people, take it out. Alright, I am here on a tremendous Tuesday for this special edition of Mike Texts It Out, where I bring you the tech news. This is going to be all about Apple and the iPhone event. Surprise, surprise. Not really. Anyway, I want to give my thoughts on everything that was announced. So let's start with what they started with, which was the Apple Arcade and the Apple TV Plus. Now, these two are their services, so they're moving more into the service direction because that's how they got to make that money, y'all. Offer them services. And the Apple Arcade, it looked alright. They had some alright games. They still look like mobile games. What I wanted personally, with them adding controller support for Xbox One and PS4 controllers, I wanted to see some controller games being showcased, but obviously Apple wants to stick with their own hardware, their own press conference, and not show anything that you can't either play directly with the iPhone or the iPad. But it still would have been exciting to see a game, even if it was like Skyrim, with controller support on the iPad, even though they re-released it 800 times. Still would have been cool. So I am disappointed in that part of it. The Apple TV Plus, they bragged about, oh, our trailers did 3 million views. Blah, blah, blah. It's a trailer. It doesn't really matter that much. They showed a new trailer for that show, See, starring Jason Momoa, where nobody can see. And then apparently some kids are born and the kids can see. And they're going to be fighting over some kids, like, bat, bat, bat. Like, give me the kids. And they're like, no. That's what the show's going to be about. It looks alright. The most compelling thing with both of them is they're only going to be $4.99 per month each for the family plan. So I think for the Apple Arcade, for me personally, that's a more compelling deal than the TV service. They both are offering a free trial period, so I'm going to definitely try both of them. The other thing is Apple TV Plus, if you buy a new iPod, iPhone, or I believe a Mac as well, you get 1 year of the TV Plus service, which we may be buying a new iPhone, and there may be an unboxing if we do. I'm not personally getting one, but Jeff is thinking about upgrading. So, we might just be getting the TV Plus for a year anyway. But we'll have to see. I'm definitely going to check it out and see what the shows are going to be like. And then, of course, they announced a release date for the TV Plus, which will be November 1st, so they can undercut Disney by a couple of weeks to try to get out there first. But if they're not offering any compelling content, I don't know who's going to subscribe other than the people who are going to do like the free trial, or if you just happen to be buying a new iPhone. If you want me to be honest about it. The Arcade Plus, they said they're going to have 100 plus games at launch. And that's launching September 19th, which is pretty soon, the day before the iPhone, spoiler. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out. I'm really interested to see, I feel like that's a more compelling deal than the Apple TV Plus, considering that you're getting access to a bunch of games. And I have my phone with me all the time. And honestly, I do play a lot of mobile games. I play Candy Crush Soda a lot. Don't judge me. I'm on level 2000. Anyway, I'm definitely going to check that out. So let's move the speed of the press conference into the next thing, which is the iPad. So there were rumors that the iPad Pro was going to be upgraded, but we did not see that at this conference. I'm actually cool with that because I got the iPad Pro last year. I'd be a little bit salty, not really, because the iPad Pro now is still great. But they updated the base model iPad, and to me, this is probably the best iPad to buy, unless you're really looking to do professional work with the iPad Pro. It kind of puts the Air in an awkward spot because it's adding a lot of the same features that the Air has at $329 starting off. So basically, they're adding the smart connector. So those who are not familiar with the smart connector, it's a little pin connector that the higher end iPads have that allow you to use one of Apple smart cases, where it just receives power and it connects directly through there. Power and data through the same connection. It's kind of a snap-on connection. So they're going to be releasing smart cases with the keyboards and all that stuff for the base level iPad. It's going to continue to have Apple Pencil support. It's going to be upgraded to the A10 processor, which they tout as being 2 times faster than the current baseline iPad. Obviously not as fast as the Air or the Pro, but I mean, it's an iPad, so you can pretty much do all the same stuff. Also, they've increased the screen size from 9.7 to 10.2, which brings it even closer to the 10.5-inch Air. And what I think that in my opinion, what they've done here is kind of price themselves out of the Air category, because if you look at it, okay, I'm getting 0.3 more inches on the Air. Yeah, technically it's faster, but it kind of does all the same stuff, but it's more money. And then the Pro is like a whole different thing. Like if you want a Pro, the Pro is great, I love it, but it's not for everybody. So I feel like if you're not getting the Pro, the baseline iPad definitely now is the one to get. Alright, next, let's go ahead and go into the Apple Watch. So they announced the Apple Watch Series 5 after they played some video about people getting their lives saved and working out by the Apple Watch. You know, the Apple stuff. I'm pretty sure they were true stories, but like, come on. Alright, we know it's a great device. It saves people's lives. I have the Series 3. I love the Apple Watch. You don't have to sell me on it like that, Apple. You ain't got to go that far. Alright? Chill. Chill. Anyway, they announced the Series 5. The GPS model is going to start at $399. The cellular model is going to start at $499. There wasn't much new that, you know, other than some software features from the Series 4. It's going to have an always-on display. Battery life is still going to be 18 hours. So basically they're achieving that by, they're kind of putting it in low power mode, reducing the frame rate on the watch, so that way they can keep the display on, and then obviously when you raise it, it's going to be fully awake. I thought that was a really cool feature. I'm almost compelled to upgrade just because this watch is like 2 years old now. But I'd have to get the cellular model, and I had to get the 44mm, so that's going to be automatically $529 just for the aluminum model. That's a lot of money, y'all. That's also going to be available on September 20th. And then they also announced the rumored titanium and ceramic models. I looked at it on the page. The ceramic one was like over $1,000. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm not living that lifestyle right now. I'm not. Alright? If you live in that lifestyle, that's good for you, but I'm not. I'm fine with the aluminum. Just give me the cheapest one. I don't care about the watch band either. You ain't gotta give me a band. Just give me the watch. Take like $30 off. I'm good. I got watch bands at home. Anyway, I don't think this is going to be a compelling upgrade for a Series 4 user, which is now discontinued. Which makes sense because they're too similar. It's too similar to the 5. It's going to be competing for the same territory. Obviously, it's going to be lower price if they kept it. And then it'd be like, well, why would I buy the Series 5 when I could buy the Series 4? And there's only a couple new features. The other thing is it's going to have a built-in compass, aside from the always-on display. And the battery life is supposed to be the same as the Series 4, with the always-on display, with the new features and all that stuff. A lot of the other features they showed off were OS-related things, so nothing that new and exclusive for Series 4 owners. For me, the always-on display is kind of tempting. I just wish the battery life was a bit longer. Also, the rumored sleep tracking didn't get announced here. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it's not happening right now, apparently. And then, of course, the main event of the show were the iPhone 11 and the 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Max. I really like how they started off with the iPhone 11. Last year I felt like the XR was a bit underwhelming, especially after they went into like the iPhone XS and XS Max. It really, to me, kind of felt like a B product. This time around, it felt like an A product, and I think it was partially because of the name change. Now it's like, as much as I don't agree with them using the Pro, I do like the fact that they kind of fixed their whole naming convention, so they did what they had to do. The iPhone 11, in my opinion, came out looking like the star. I like the design better with the 2 cameras on the back. They really made the cameras look good. The screen, I'm going to guess, is probably the same resolution as the XR, but I've seen the XR in person and it really doesn't make that much of a difference. If I was looking at someone's phone, I wouldn't be able to tell if it was the Max or the XR. I mean, the bezels are a little bit thicker on the R, but that's it. So, the iPhone 11 is fun. It's going to have 6 colors, including the product red. It's coming back. Got the dual camera setup, so it's going to have like the wide and then the ultra wide, and they're really touting that ultra wide. They're also bringing 4K resolution, 60 frames per second video recording on both the rear and the front-facing camera, and the front-facing camera is getting slow motion, so this is going to carry across all the phone lines. There's not much to say about the Pro. It pretty much is the XS and XS Max from last year. They said the OLED is going to be better, the color gamut is wider, it has a higher contrast ratio. They're really selling up all these features. The main thing was the camera. Oh, they also added a night mode to the cameras finally. So to kind of compete with Google. And they're adding Dolby Atmos support, and they have some kind of new spatial audio is what they were calling it. Kind of like, I guess, some kind of virtualized surround sound type thing. I'll be interested to see how that works. I'm not really too fond of phone speakers, even when they tout all this extra stuff. Like, my phone sounds okay. Like, it works in the pinch when I need it, but it's not something I'm like, oh, my phone sounds great, ever, no matter how much they've touted about phone speakers. So that part kind of flew past me. But the main thing with the Pro is you are getting those OLED screens, you're getting the third camera, so you're getting the telephoto lens, you're getting the wide lens, and then the ultra wide lens. The pricing for these babies. Okay. The first thing I want to say is 10S, 10S Max discontinued, as I predicted, because again, they're selling a product that's too close to their new line. The new line is not adding that many features as, you know, the camera. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, Face ID is supposed to be faster. There's some, like I said, new camera features. That's pretty much it. So if you're comparing, like, if someone was like, oh, the Max is going to be $800, or the Pro is $1,100, because that's where it starts at $1,099 for the Max, $999 for the regular, of course I would probably get last year's phone. So it makes sense for them to discontinue it. So that's when we get into the pricing. So the 11, the most compelling, the best deal in my opinion, $699. They really made that phone look good. If I'm probably going to stick with my phone personally, Jeff's actually going to ditch his 10S and go to the 11 because that's how compelling it was to him, and he likes the color options. So I was looking like a good phone right now. The 10R already had the best battery life last year. They're increasing it by an hour. That's another thing too. There is going to be a big step in battery life. I believe the regular Pro is going to get 4 hours more than the 10S from last year, and the Max is supposed to be getting like 5 hours, I believe. So it's a big difference as far as the battery life, but again, not a compelling enough reason for me to upgrade. Back to the pricing, I got sidetracked. So we got the Pro, $999, Max, $1099, 11 at $699, which is an even better deal in my opinion than the 10R was last year at the same price, because it doesn't feel like you're really compromising anything. I felt like the camera last year was a little bit of a compromise. Like, yeah, you're not getting the third lens, but I kind of feel like the third lens is not like a make or break. Like, just having the dual lenses and all the other features, like the 11, for the price difference, $300 less than the regular Pro with technically a bigger screen. I know it's lower resolution, and then you get all the colors. It makes the most sense. The R is sticking around. They didn't discontinue that. The R is sticking around for $600. The 8 is going to be there for $449. So that's going to be their iPhone lineup. I really enjoyed this press conference. You know, I typically, even when it's not like a super huge year of releases, I generally enjoy the Apple press conferences. Even though I might personally not upgrade this year, I'm still excited. If Jeff does get the 10R, of course I'll bring you guys another super cool unboxing. We'll look at it day one if I have the chance. But I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a conclusion. I know this video is super late, but I had to go ahead and watch it and get it done for you today because I wanted to get my thoughts out while it was still fresh. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe, and always do at least 2 things at the same time. Peace.